Hello friends, my name is Brad. My Tacoma world name is B-Rad. You might have known me. Today I'm going to show you how to install hood lighting kit for 2nd generation Tacoma. Okay, so you want to open up your hood and show off your beautiful red lines. First thing you want to do is clean off the surface area here with rubbing alcohol and rag. Now clean off this area right in between here where LEDs are going to be sticking. Make sure there's no residue left behind or they won't stick very well. Next thing you're going to want to do is remove adhesive from LED roll and place up inside hood. Follow me. Mother Russians, the best in the world. Okay, here we are, beautiful. Oh shit, forgot this. Okay, go ahead and stick up here an area that you want LEDs to face down. I recommend starting from the side with wires first. Come here, cameraman, over here. This is about the area, excuse my previous wiring, that you want to start here and then just work your way down. Push 1, 2, 1 over here, 1 over here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Okay. Very good. Once you have a pretty good position, you can make your adjustments if you need to before you will apply the stickies. Okay, she's all good to go. Now you need to take your fingers and press very hard for about 6 seconds. In each place, go ahead, move down until you get to the end.
Alright, I thought the Russian thing would be pretty funny, but it's proven to be rather tiresome, so I'm just gonna speak to you pretty normally. We're moving on.
Once you've got this up and it's sticking pretty nicely, just kind of push out any creases or any spots that aren't sticking so that everything is up nicely. These LEDs will be able to withstand the heat coming from the engine and the cold in winters. Alright.
The next step is you're going to want to run your wires. Starting from up here, going into here, which I'll show you how to tuck that in just a little bit, and then down here. Now, the first time I did this, I used a coat hanger and I made it come out of this little hole in the very back of your hood. It's like a little drainage hood, or a drainage hole, sorry. If you can't get that, you can probably just have it come out of here and then use some tape to stick it in here. So use a little coat hanger, fish it through here, and come out of that hole and then pull it out. And that's that part for now. Next step is you want to strip these wires. Strip these wires and strip the ones up here, and then connect them together. See you in just a minute. Okay, so a little advice when you're crimping is to hold the butt connector with your wire crimpers, and then stick the wire inside, and then clamp down. That way you don't accidentally do it the wrong way. If you'd like, you can wrap this in electrical tape just to prevent it from getting wet. I'm going to be redoing this, so I'm not doing it right now. But after you've connected those, go ahead and stick it inside this little area here, and you're just going to kind of tuck the wires away best that you can. And from there, you're just going to kind of start working these wires inside and behind these hood supports, and just kind of tuck it away real nice and neatly. I'll go at that again after this video so that everything doesn't really show, and you have minimal wire showing. You can cover that up too if you'd like later. The next thing you're going to want to do is run your wires from outside of your hood to the battery and the switch area. Don't connect it to the battery just yet. I'm going to run it underneath my external fuse box and over here just to make the setup really clean. You can do it however you want. If you don't really care about wires sticking out, then you can do it however which way you want. Some people have spaghetti factories in their hoods, kind of like the photographer who's filming right now. That's Matt. Yeah, he has a spaghetti factory underneath his head. So just get the ground wire going to here, and the positive wire is obviously going to go to the battery. But the ground wire is going to be connecting to the switch, and the switch is an interrupter that uses the ground source in your in the metal of the truck, and then interrupts it when the hood closes. Once you have your ground wire coming over here, give yourself a little bit of slack, but you are essentially just going to be connecting to that connector here. So give yourself, a few inches, cut it, and then put that little connector, the female connector, on the other end of this. So splice or strip this, and then connect it to this connector, and then leave that hanging there. There you go, just like that. And then just leave it hanging right there. Okay, so next we're going to be putting this switch in. The switch comes in this little bag. The switch is going to be using a stock hole right here. Don't mind this hole, this is where my previous switch was. You can see that it just barely fits in there, so you're going to have to bore it out. You can use whatever you want, but a drill would be best just to make that hole a little bit bigger. That's what we're going to do right now. Yeah, that's supposed to go there. Sorry. First how-to. Okay, so now we need a logo. There it is. Okay. We should just be editing this stuff out, but looks like you guys are along for the ride. One more. There we go. Now the switch should fit pretty nicely. Yeah, it's perfect. You're going to want it to come up from underneath there and then hook on your hardware. I'll show you in just a second. So you got 2 lock washers and 2 nuts. So 1 nut, 1 lock washer. Put the nut first. You'll adjust the height later. For now, you can do it right about halfway. And then you're going to put it through here. Throw the other lock washer on. And the other nut. And tighten that on. Doesn't have to be tight yet, you're going to be adjusting it, so you just kind of want to get it into place. Okay, so your next step is you're going to wire your hot wire. Now you're going to use this terminal hook ring that I've supplied you with and connect it to the fuse that I've also supplied you with. So just grab one side, throw this guy in there, just like I showed you earlier. Crimp that down. Once you have your terminal ring on the wire, you can hook it onto this 12mm nut right here and just kind of fish it through the back side of this cord housing and just hide it behind there. Just tuck it away, and you're going to connect that to your hot wire for the LED lights. For me, I'm going to be hooking it to my blue C-Box external fuse box. Once you've got your hot wire, your power wire hooked up onto your battery, and it's now going up to your LEDs, the last thing will be your ground wire, which is going to your switch, which we had made a hole for earlier. So once you connect that onto the little terminal here, then it'll be hot and it'll be working. It should be working now. And from here, we're going to adjust this switch with your to the size of your hood. This is where you might want to have somebody to help you out. You might need somebody to open the hood for you multiple times. And alright, so here we go. Okay, so last thing you're going to want to do is take your switch. I've taken it out just for demonstration purposes. And you want to give yourselves about 5 threads from when it comes out of the hole. Give me a second here. About 5 threads. So as you can see there, it looks like a lot more, but once you put on the lock ring and the nut, that's about the ideal height you're going to need, but you may need to adjust it more on your own. Once you've got that on there and it's locked down, sorry I'm having trouble doing this, close your hood and just eyeball it and see how much it goes down. You don't want it to go more than the switch can actually hold, because if it goes too far down, it might not be good. You can, but it's capable of going all the way to the bottom here. So you want it to be just about there. That's the ideal spot. So use about 5 threads, lock it down, see how it looks, try that out. Last thing you're going to want to do is take the zip ties that you've been given and zip tie down the wires coming out of your hood to the hood mount. Once you've got that baby on there, sorry, arm. Oh, there goes that. Just go ahead and cut it off. Okay. And then take your second one, and this is only if you really want to. And take your wires coming down and zip tie it around the looming for the stock looming right here. Just zip tie it to that to keep it nice and tight. I'm just going to leave that free floating for now. Now we've got our hood light kit fully installed. Should turn off as soon as you close the hood, which as you can see, it's not showing through anywhere here. I'll open it back up. Through my modified hood scoop. And that's it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you enjoy your hood light kits. If you have any questions, feel free to PM me. Special thanks to Matt, the Traveler, for filming this. And have a good one.
Until the day I die.